Harley Quinzel. Oh, how they've butchered you over the years. How they've single-handedly made you seem like nothing more than an industry plant, like some knockoff Deadpool, and not even a good one. Where did it all go wrong? How did it come to this? Can it be fixed, or is the damage irreparable? We've gotten our fair share of Harley Quinn adaptations over the years, and more times than not, they're mid. I understand that she was a breakout character in the animated series, and she's popular enough for you to constantly want to push her out. But that doesn't mean we want to read about what she's pushing out. It gets to a point. Even I know that some lines have been crossed. Why has Harley Quinn been in more media than Wonder Woman, in the lead role of a video game before Wonder Woman, having her own animated series before Wonder Woman, and probably way more stuff? You get the idea. But that isn't the focus of this video. My problem has been with the character of Harleen herself. It's almost as if DC doesn't know what they want to do with her, so they just do anything. I'll tell you guys what I think the best role for Harley to play is, but before that, we unfortunately have to address what doesn't work. The prime example of this is none other than Arkham Harley Quinn. This version of the character is arguably the most Joker-obsessed one that we've ever seen, which is why it makes no sense for her to suddenly flip a switch and kill the Justice League, and put herself on such a moral high horse that she calls Batman a hypocrite. This is the same Harley that aided the Joker in killing children, torturing Jason every day for more than a year, eating people, and so on and so forth. The same Harley that was so helplessly in love with the Joker after his death. She was devastated to the point of wanting to take everyone out with little to no regard for her own life. The same Harley that was so Joker crazy that even a year after his death, she was attempting to use other people's bodies as vessels to Frankenstein Joker back to life, being just as reckless and dangerous as she had been before his death, if not more. Plus, if you wanted the Joker back so badly, instead of using this shriveled up old man like Sukuna's vessel, you could have just downloaded PolyBuzz. I mean, the app has over 20 million characters. They must have the Joker somewhere. Nani? They don't have the Joker? Well, luckily, this app allows you to create your very own character, even the Joker. Now that we can finally talk to him, let's ask his opinion on what Harley's been doing for the past year since he died. Harley is making clones of you. Only 3? Yeah, this guy is just as freaked out as the real one. Join the 40 million other people that have already downloaded this app and use my code CLOUT to receive a 3-day free trial of premium. And putting in your promo code is pretty simple. All you need to do is open your app and go to your search bar and type in CLOUT. That's going to be CLOUT. And after typing in CLOUT, it should automatically take you to the promo code page, and all you have to do is press confirm. Thank you, PolyBuzz, for sponsoring this video. An entire year was an ample amount of time for Harley to turn a new leaf, if that was something that this Harley was capable of, especially when there's versions out there like the TV show or the Birds of Prey movie, where Harley is able to distance herself from an alive and healthy Joker. But I can't stress this enough. A year after his death, she only sunk further into the rabbit hole with no signs of climbing out. 3 games deep with no signs of changing. But then all of a sudden in Kill the Justice League, she's good now. She's over Joker and we don't know why. She's willing to do selfless and heroic acts that don't personally benefit her in any way. This isn't me saying that Harley can't be written this way, but that this version of her just couldn't. We're led to believe that all of her character development happened off screen, and any mention of her past or her relationship with the Joker is just written off as a well, a joke. But I guess they were in just such a rush to give us the heroic Harley Quinn that everyone likes, the one that has changed her ways and moved on from Joker, the one that requires character development. They wanted to reap all of the benefits without putting in a lick of the work. How naughty. And the final kicker, the last laugh if you will, the thing that just solidifies this Harley as the most inconsistent and possibly bottom 5 versions of the character ever, comes from the Joker DLC. Now I know that you're smart enough to have maybe possibly picked up on this by now, but this version of Harley is like super obsessed with the Joker. Remember, so obsessed that she even tried to create new Jokers. So I pose a question to you. How do you think this version of the character would react to an actual Joker from a different dimension who's younger, cuter, and less evil than her dead one? be overjoyed, be shocked, and try her best to stay composed, throw all of her sudden morals out of the window and revert back to her old ways. Or D, nothing. If you said D, you'd be correct. By now, you get the point. The thing that disappoints me the most about this adaptation is the fact that it's actually really good. You know, if you act like Kill the Justice League doesn't exist. We all know how it obviously ruined the beloved Arkham Batman before they revealed it to simply be a clone. The problem with Harley, though, is that she isn't a clone. This is some all-natural character assassination, turned from a sinister accomplice of the Joker to some wannabe, drowning in plot armor. I've told you what doesn't work. Now, I guess I tell you what does, huh? Let's take a look at the blueprint. Harley's debut and what I still believe to be her at her best. Unlike most other comic book characters, Harley first appeared in a TV show, Batman, the animated series. Not only is this one of the greatest, well-known, and most important pieces of Batman media of all time, but to a lot of people, this is Batman. As soon as Harley Quinn was introduced, audiences fell in love with the character. So much so that she became a mainstay in the series. She aided the Joker in his plans to defeat Batman just like you'd expect, tries to advance her relationship further with him as you'd expect, but what differentiates her from later adaptations such as the Arkham Harley are her moments of clarity. The most prominent example of this is the episode Mad Love. Long story short, the Joker let Harley in on one of his scrapped plans to take down Batman, death by a bunch of piranhas. It almost seemed like a bunch of tiny smiles, except he realized that piranhas have the opposite of a smile, a frown. So instead, it'd be death by a bunch of tiny frowns, which just wouldn't be as funny. Harley hears this and immediately thinks of ways to improve the plan or even get it to work. And then she goes on to do something that very few, if any, of the villains in the show managed to do. Lure Batman into a trap and actually trap him within the span of like 10 minutes. Batman was completely at her mercy. Harley is portrayed here as a very competent villain. In fact, this act made it seem like she was being held back by the Joker, as if she could be a threat even bigger and badder than the Joker ever dreamed of if she truly wanted to. But she still had her weaknesses. Her main one, of course, being her lack of self. Batman began to tell her that the Joker didn't care about her, but simply wanted to use her. She wanted to deny it, but she couldn't. Not when Batman was able to repeat the same sob stories that the Joker had given her, nearly word for word. The same stories that she believed to be secrets and only she knew. She's easily manipulated. Batman uses her need for approval against her and tells her that if she drops him into the piranhas now, nothing will be left of him to prove to the Joker that she did it. His words did reach her, so she called the Joker to let him know what she did, that she actually caught Batman. When the Joker burst through the doors, he seems angrier than anything. He immediately slaps her like the butthole he is, and she tries to explain the situation and how she found the solution to the problem he had. She hung Batman upside down so that from his perspective, the piranhas were smiling. Joker wasn't pleased, because of course he wasn't. Instead of congratulating her or executing the plan, he instead gets so angry at her that he pushes her out of the window, nearly killing her. Even then, while she's barely able to move, she mumbles about how everything was her fault. And to make matters worse, the Joker proceeds to apologize to Batman for Harley's actions. Like, buddy, you care about this man more than your supposed girlfriend. What is that all about? This scene really got to me when I first watched it. Harley couldn't catch a break. People were taking advantage of her mental instability left and right, whether it was the Joker or even Batman himself. She feels very real and nuanced. Nothing about her character or performance feels forced. Seeds of doubt were steadily placed throughout her time with the Joker. If she ever did leave him or turn a new leaf, the audience would definitely understand why. In fact, she toyed with the idea of leaving him behind after that incident. While she was in her full body cast, unable to move a muscle, she said that she was done. She said that she was done, and I believed it. I mean, getting pushed off a 5-story building will do that to you. But we're once more shown how deep in she is. When she turns to see a flower and a note telling her to get better soon from the Joker, she smiled and referred to the Joker as nothing more than an angel. That easily, he had her wrapped right back around his finger. The reason this is such an amazing Harley is because of the depth she has. She doesn't just up and leave whenever she wants. She also isn't irredeemably evil. She's just a really lost and messed up person. She has moments of clarity followed up by denial. Thoughts of leaving him and doing better for herself all immediately shut down when he shows the smallest ounce of affection and a major lack of self. Compare that to the recent no-nonsense, uber-confident, all-powerful Harley Quinn. I don't know what else to say, so bye.